What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisor.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video. It is Sunday. It is January 19th. We are back with a 5-game main slate. So we have a total of 7 games today, but we're only going to cover the 5-game main slate. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Thunderdome. We are here to help you bring home the bacon. We are here to help you become a better DFS player. If these videos are the only things you need, that's awesome. If you do need a little bit more help, we do have FTA Plus. We have a ton of free content on the site. So go to FantasyTeamAdvisor.com, the NBA tab. We have a bunch of stuff there. And on top of that, in the description of this video is our completely free Discord as well, where we give a couple of core plays and some value plays both on FanDuel and DraftKings. So what we're going to do is anytime we have at least 5 games on the slate, we give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. So when we make these videos, we've already ran 10,000 simulations. So these are early projections, early simulations for the main slate. About an hour or 2 hours before tip-off, we usually run our other 10,000 simulations for a total of 20,000 simulations for the day. And then we update our projections, update our simulations, update everything under the NBA tab, as you can see. So make sure you check us out. Now, if you're new to the channel, we do have giveaways every single video. There are 2 stipulations. The first one, you got to like this video, you got to be a subscriber to the channel, and you have to leave a comment on this video right here. Any comment, preferably a positive comment, but any comment works. And if this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes on the video, a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass worth $500. Second way to win. Somewhere in this video, I'll say a keyword or key phrase. Listen for it, type it in there, and have a second chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. So we'll do that giveaway at the end of the video. And as always, after we do our early projections, we're going to build a DraftKings lineup, we're going to build a FanDuel lineup, and we are going to build a Yahoo lineup as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's check it out. So it's not the worst 5-game slate, I will admit. We have had better. But if you, before we get started, if you missed it, we broke down the divisional round NFL video. We broke down all 4 games. So obviously, this being Sunday, 2 games were played yesterday. Commanders' defense really helped out with the pick sixes and the interceptions. But you can still check that video. I will link that video at the end here. You can still check the breakdown for the 2 games that are today. So if you're playing Sunday only and you want to build lineups for those 2 games, I broke that down. We looked at all the plays. We used everything. So if you want to check that out, that'll be linked at the end of this video. So it is early. We do have some guys already ruled out. We do have some guys who are questionable. SGA with the questionable tag. Second leg of a back-to-back on Friday due to sprain. We'll see if it's, injury management. So there are certain players that may or may not be ruled out or questionable already. Harden's got questionable for an illness. We'll see. So, again, this is being early. Maybe those tags have already gone away. So definitely make sure you check it out. So these are early projections. Once people are ruled out, like if SGA was ruled out, then we'll have some value open up for OKC. That'll be part of our projections. That'll be part of our simulations. So that being said, we're looking at the point guard position to start. So if he does play, coming off, he's got some rest. SGA up against Brooklyn, I got him projected about 50 fantasy points right now. Again, it will really depend if he plays and if he plays a full complement of minutes. Second player here for point guard, Tyrese Maxey against Milwaukee, 24th DVP out of 30, so a great matchup for him, about 46 to 50 fantasy points. Then we got De'Aaron Fox. I love De'Aaron Fox here. Got him against Washington. That's the 30th DVP. We got him about 42 fantasy points, about 42 to 45 fantasy points. Now, at his price of $8,600 on DraftKings, you are able to save quite a bit of money if you don't want to pay up for SGA, or save that $600 instead of going with Harden or Maxey. Like, you could save some money here, and I really like De'Aaron Fox in this situation. Some mid-tier picks here. Love some Shaden Sharp here. Shaden Sharp I'm looking at, against Chicago, 29th EVP, so 29th out of 30, about 30 fantasy points. Go about 30 to 35, would not surprise me. We got Io DeSunmu up against Portland, 29 fantasy points, and Scoot Henderson against Chicago, 29 to 32 fantasy points, 29 DVP there. And if we're digging down a little bit and I'm looking for some value, when I look at value, like on DraftKings, I'm looking at around 5K or under, and then maybe if we can get 5 times value is kind of what we're looking at. You can't always find it. It's not always going to be there. But I am looking at Cason Wallace against Brooklyn, about 22 to 25 fantasy points. Carlton Carrington, I don't know if I'm going to use him as much, but I've got him about 22 to 25. And then just depending on where we're at, you could look at Gabe Vincent. Not the best matchup for him, but he's only 3,800. So again, if we get some value for the Lakers, I don't know if he'll play. We got about 18 to 20 fantasy points out of Gabe Vincent. Now again, we got throughout these weeks, the trade deadline's coming up. You could see some. I mean, we're in the thick of trade season, so we could see some trades go down. I don't think we're going to be. It shouldn't affect as much at the moment, but don't get it twisted. Do not get lost in it. So yeah, you can look at like Paul George with the out tag, did not play Saturday. These will all change a little bit from out to questionable. So we'll kind of wait to see if they play at all. Paul George probably misses this game as well, and I wouldn't trust him even if he was playing. But we are looking at Zach LaVine. Now, he is questionable, but probable for Sunday, so I feel like he will play. He last played January 17th, 41.5 fantasy points, played 35 minutes. I think he'll play. I've got him projected about, he's got the best matchup against Portland, 30th DVP. I've got him about 42 to 45 fantasy points. If for some reason he was unable to play, maybe a Malik Monk would kind of move in there, but I think he plays. Jordan Poole against Sacramento, I think they're going to be playing from behind. I got about 37 to 42 fantasy points. We got Kobe White about 32 to 35 fantasy points as well. So move down the list a little bit to try and find some mid-tier picks here. Kelly Oubre Jr. against Milwaukee, 29 to 32 fantasy points. D'Angelo Russell against OKC, about 28 to 32. Zaire Williams, about 24 to 26. And then trying to find some value. It's kind of hard to find value down here, but Kevin Porter Jr., about 18 to 22. Corey Kispert playing from behind against Sacramento, 25th DVP. So a great matchup for Kispert, about 18 to 22 as well. And then we come down to 3,500, Chris Dunn against the Lakers, 16 to 20 fantasy points. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a lot of Chris Dunn in this one. So you can just kind of look at the minutes. You know, he's had a few 20 minutes, and then 13, then 19, but he still put up 25 fantasy points in 19 minutes. Looking at splits, he has not faced the Lakers this year. If he could get 20 minutes plus in this game, I love Chris Dunn as a very cheap $3,500 boomer bust type player there. Moving to the small forward. Again, a lot of questionable guys, will open up value at some point. Cam Johnson, I don't know if he plays, but I've got him early projection right around 36 to 40. Kawhi Leonard against the Lakers, 35 to 38 fantasy points. Norman Powell, who is questionable, if he plays and gets his full complement of minutes, about 35 to 38 as well. Mid-tier. Not a ton of mid-tier picks at this position today. Bilal Coulibaly, about 25 fantasy points. Tumani Kamara, about 25. Rio Hachimura, about 23 to 25. Trying to find some sort of value. Lou Dort against Brooklyn, 21st DVP. We're looking about 21 to 25 fantasy points. Keyshawn George against Sacramento. I don't know if I'll use him much, but 16th DVP, so right in the middle, about 18 fantasy points. And then Isaiah Joe against Brooklyn, 21st DVP, about 17 to 20 fantasy points, depending on the minutes. So if we look at Isaiah Joe and the minutes, the game, like it's been 20 plus for Isaiah. Up and down, like 13, 21, 13, 14, 38. Been 2 days since he's played. We could definitely see Isaiah Joe being maybe a sneaky pick here. Again, we need 20 plus minutes out of him, and hopefully we can get it. And again, today just feels like a 5-game Sunday slate where we build tournament lineups only, and I'm going to build pretty much a boomer bust lineup here. I'm more focused on NFL for Sunday as well, so make sure you check out our NFL content. Our cheat sheets and everything are updated. Probably the guy I'm paying up for the most today would be Giannis. Antetokounmpo going up against Philly, 23rd DVP, with Drummond most likely being out, with Embiid being out. There's really no one to stop him. We're looking at 56 fantasy points. Would not surprise me if he goes 70 plus. I'm not going to project 70 plus, but at 11,600, if you pay up for him, you got to find those Isaiah Joes, those value picks there. Next up is LeBron. Now, we did not use LeBron or AD last game. LeBron put up 55.25 at 9,500, played 35 minutes. I think we're probably going to see something like that. I've got LeBron. It's not the best matchup for him against the Clippers, though. They're 4th out of 30 DVP, so they're very good. 47 to 52 fantasy points. Jalen Williams against Brooklyn, 24th DVP, about 39 to 42 fantasy points there. Coming down mid-tier, we got Kyle Kuzma, 28 to 30 fantasy points. Alex Sarr, 28 to 30 as well. Bobby Portis, 23rd DVP, about 25 to 30 fantasy points for Portis. And then trying to find some value here. Aaron Wiggins against Brooklyn, 21 fantasy points. Patrick Williams against Portland, 15 DVP, so right in the middle. Patrick Williams for 19. And then Derrick Jones Jr. against the Clippers. I believe that's Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah. Game log wise, the minutes are there for him. The price is okay. It's more of a boomer bust. But Derrick Jones Jr. right around 17 to 20 fantasy points if we are paying down that far at the power forward position. Then we get to the center position. Now, like I said, we did not use AD. We did not use Braun a couple of nights ago, and that's where our lineups killed. But again, 10,500 really hasn't hit the value that you need. You're pretty much needing at least 65 out of him, which I just don't trust him enough. Always got that questionable tag. But if you want to project him out, we've got him projected right around 50 fantasy points, which isn't enough for me. So I'm probably not paying for AD today. We got Sabonis going up against Washington. Fantastic matchup. If I'm paying, I'm probably paying for Sabonis at 48 or at 9,900, about 48 to 52 fantasy points. Nikola Vucevic, 26 DVP against Portland, 40 to 44 fantasy point range. Mid-tier, not a ton of mid-tier here. Noah Clowney, 25 fantasy points. Zubac, well, let's go. So we got Zubac about 35 fantasy points. Nick Claxton about 30 fantasy points. And then Noah Clowney about 24 fantasy points. And then trying to find some value here at center. I don't know if I'm paying all the way down today. Brook Lopez at 23. Jonas Valanciunas at 23 to 25. You want to go even lower. Trey Lyles against Washington. Maybe he gets a little bit of extra run because maybe they're up big here. 14 DVP. About 18 to 24 fantasy points there. And there you have it. Those are just some of the projections through 10,000 simulations. So throughout the day, in the afternoon, we update the 20,000 simulations. We update the projections. We update the simulations. We update the cheat sheet. We update it all. So make sure you go check out fantasyteamadvisors.com right now, or depending on when you watch this video. So that being said, we are going to build a DraftKings lineup. So like I said, boomer bust, but I do want to get some Giannis in here. So Giannis is going to go in my power forward. Point guard, looking at point guard, I want Austin Reeves. We used him last game, put up 54.25 at 8,000. He's 8,100 going up against Clippers. I love that here. I'd rather pay down at 8,100 for Reeves than pay up for AD or pay up for LeBron for the Lakers. Another one is Gary Trent Jr., a $3,300 player. The minutes are what's going to be weird, but he's had 20-plus minutes in these games. He's had a dud here, but then some pretty good matchups here. So if I look at Gary Trent Jr., we did not really talk about him. 7 DVP, so not the best, but he allows us to pay up for Giannis in this lineup. Another one I've got to pay for is DeMar DeRozan. I said I love that matchup for him, so that's why I'm looking at it. Paying down, maybe we pay down for Jalen Smith. Game log, it's just weird. The minutes, actually, you know what? The minutes are not there for me. The minutes just aren't there enough to make it worthwhile. So if you look at that, they just haven't been there enough to even show me why I would like that. So looking at this center position, I think we can, instead of Smith, we go Vooch, even though he let us down. So 2 games ago, he let us down and got only 14 real points where I needed 15. And then I said he'd probably go for 15 actual points the next game. And he went off for 40. So dumb. That's the name of the game, though. That is the name of the game. So Kevin Porter Jr., got him here. The minutes are weird, but this is more of a boomer bust pick for me. And then what I'm looking at here is Trey Lyles against Washington, a great matchup for him. Then we're at 4,700 for utility spots. So more of a boomer bust. Valanciunas here against Sacramento. Wilson, minutes-wise, Wilson's had the minutes. So I think I'm going to go with Jalen Wilson. So if I look at Jalen Wilson, he's got 18 DVP, 4,600. I think he's got what it takes. So this is a boomer bust lineup. We paid up for Antetokounmpo. We paid up for Vooch. We paid up for Austin Reeves. DeMar DeRozan. I love DeMar DeRozan in this one, and he's even cheaper than an Austin Reeves. I will take that. So boomer bust, we paid down for Porter. We paid down for Lyles, Wilson, and Gary Trent Jr. So this is a stars and scrubs type lineup that we build and we talk about. So that's our DraftKings lineup. And before we get into the other lineups, the key phrase today is Sunday Fun Day, because I want you guys to have fun, but I want to have some fun bringing home the bacon. I want to win in NBA. I want to have absolute blast with the NFL, these 2 games. We've got next week, which we will break down the 2 games for the conference championship, and then that is a wrap on the 2024 NFL season, which I cannot believe. I want to thank every single one of you that has joined the channel, whether or not it's from YouTube Shorts, whether or not it is from just breaking down the videos, our bets, everything like that. Thank you guys. Be on the lookout for MLB content. It'll be starting up in a couple of months, and we will be ready. So, that being said, our FanDuel lineup, we started with Dosunmu. We went all the way down to Nick Claxton, paid up for Antetokounmpo. I got Austin Reeves in there as well. So I'm going to lock this in here. So pause the video and see the lineup there. And then the Yahoo lineup. Not a ton of you play Yahoo, but I wanted to get that there. So paid up for De'Aaron Fox. Paid up technically for Bobby Portis and Shaedon Sharpe. More of another boomer bust lineup. It's a tournament-only lineup. That's what we play here when we build these lineups. So these are early, obviously, through 10,000 simulations, but they can and will change when other players are ruled in or out. So, that being said, we are going to have the giveaway right now. So we did not hit 50 likes in yesterday's video, but we did have commenters commenting the key word of the day. Not a ton of you guys, but it was photograph or pictures or photographs, something like that. So we're going to roll this until we see the keyword of photographs or pictures or whatever. There you go. Sergeant Saint. Now, this is what I'll tell you. Sergeant Saint seems to win every single day. That is because we only had 15 comments on the video. Sergeant Saint has been coming to these videos every single day for months and commenting. That's all it takes. All you got to do is come back every single day, comment on these, and have a chance to win. So congratulations yet again, Sergeant Saint. You won a free week of FTA Plus. I will go ahead and I will credit your account as we speak. So good luck today, everyone, with the NBA, or if you're playing NFL, let's have a great Sunday. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.